Well, welcome back, Driver Nation, to another Driver Spotlight. I am your host, Sade. I actually have an incredible driver here by the name of Jeffrey G. He's actually joining us today from Orlando, Florida. He's been with DeliverThat since 2021. It looks like November of 2021, excuse me. He's actually taken over 430 deliveries, with the total food delivered cost being over $130,000 worth of food. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. Were you surprised about that number?
I
I'm
was surprised about that number.
I get a lot of drivers who are surprised about that number because I look at it and say, "You delivered that much food? That's a lot of food."
It is a lot of food, a lot of different smells in my car. I tell you that.
That's funny. My first job was actually as a dishwasher, and I was 18, and I didn't have my license at the time. So I had someone come pick me up, and they were like, "Roll all the windows down because that's all you smells like garbage."
Yeah, yeah, and restaurant smell. I've been there, done that, so I know.
Oh, okay. So you know then. So let me ask you this. Just get right into it. How did you even get started in the gig economy?
I started in the gig economy by just I was doing career work. I was in the loss prevention world, doing financial loss prevention collections. And I just wanted a side job, and Uber was the big thing back then, about 7 years ago, I would say. And I got into doing Uber first, and I discovered other ones, DoorDash, Grubhub at the time, and Postmates. Actually, Postmates no longer there anymore. Now they're Uber. But yeah, I decided to apply for as many gig jobs to maximize my time, and then I once I saw the potential and the freedom, the money that you can make and the freedom of being with your family more and not being tied down to a schedule, it was a no-brainer for me.
I can agree with you there. Of course, I do have a schedule here, but they're definitely what I can say about Deliver That. They don't allow you to have to choose between your family and your work. They work with you, and that's the beauty of it. Not just on the driver's side, but internally, and that's very great. A lot of drivers I speak to, they want to spend their time with their family, especially after COVID. It was just like our values has changed as humans.
Oh yeah, they have. After COVID, you saw how important it is to spend that family time.
It is cool. Well, you mentioned family, and I'm kind of going off a little bit here. Do you have like children or grandchildren or?
Yes, I have a kid. Well, he's not a kid anymore. He's 23 right now, so he's not a kid anymore. And I have a fur baby, as you heard earlier, and and of course my wife.
That's awesome. Cool. We have a lot of animal lovers here. I think we might got a mixture of cats and dogs. I don't know. What do you think, Nate?
I think when Ben does his interviews, it's majority dogs, but there's a lot of cat lovers here.
I know it gets me. I'm afraid of cats.
Hey, to be fair, you never hear the cat on the other side, right?
I like it. Love it.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you this, Jeff. Why did you choose this profession? You did mention that you have the flexibility to spend time with your family, but transitioning from having a 9 to 5 to this gig work, how was that for you? What made you do that transition? Because that's a big transition.
It is a big transition. Pretty much, it was scary at first because having that set salary was always, I got this bills, I got to make this much. I mean, this is what I got to pay, and it was a comfortable situation. So I have to put myself in the uncomfortable zone at first, and once I started, making money and learning my market and one step at a time, one app at a time, and starting adding more income, it just I decided that being tied down to a job was not it for me anymore, and just being having the flexibility of saying, today I'm not working, and I don't have to call anybody and make up an excuse of why I don't feel good. It's just a no brainer for me. So that's pretty much how I got started with doing this career, this gig work.
That's pretty awesome. Would you say how long have you been doing for the last 7 years, or how long have you been doing full time?
6 years full time.
Oh wow! So you got in and
Yes.
after that, it was just on and rocking. You mentioned a few things that I feel like are helpful for our drivers that are watching us, and that's you took it app by app. You learned the app, got to the point where you can excel, and then you moved on because you knew you wanted to add more income. And I love that part. I think a lot of our drivers call in and they have this mindset of this is the only gig opportunity that's going to provide me with the needs or needs to mean how to say means to live, excuse me, with means to live, and just being able to be diverse and actually finding your lane in the gig economy. I think that'd be very awesome.
Yeah, yes, and unfortunately, right now we're not on a point where one app is it's gonna make your whole your whole day. You have to mix it in with some other apps. You have to multi-app in order to be successful and being out on the road and being your own boss. And it's like a business. The more contracts you get, the more money you make.
I love it. The
That's
contracts
that's
you
it.
get. If they had that mindset of knowing I'm getting contracts, I love it. You giving me some nuggets. I hope they paying attention and writing down.
I hope they are. I hope they are.
Well, let me ask you this. Now you do multi app. Do you stick with one industry, like just food, or do you try the medical field, or how does that work?
For the main part, my main sources of income has been food and also grocery deliveries as well. I am I've I could honestly say I could shop faster than my wife now. That wasn't the case a few years ago. But ever since the gig economy and getting with this grocery delivery apps, I became a pro at it. So yeah, so that's my other source is Walmart, Instacart, and so forth.
Okay, cool. Well, how did you even hear about us? How did you hear about Deliver That?
I was just looking for driver jobs and other apps, other gig apps, and DeliverThat was one of the ones that was looking for drivers. And I decided to give you guys a look at. I looked at you guys and I saw that you guys were very big and you had a lot of drivers, and I decided, let's give them a shot. And I'm glad I did because it was one of the best decisions I've made in a long time. With the
Well,
apps, with the apps has been DeliverThat is one of my favorite apps.
let's go. I love it. Let me ask you this: why you say that?
I say that because you guys have steadily given me work consistently for the past 2 years. I've been having, 2 to 3 minimum 2 jobs. I can get up to five. Today I had five. You can believe that. But again, it's knowing your market and knowing how to schedule everything that fits, and it's just been great. It's been great with Deliver That.
I'm so happy to hear that, and it's been great having you partner with us. And we continue to hope you can partner with us, till the end.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hopefully there is no end.
Exactly. That's the
Absolutely.
important part. Well, when you did your first delivery, was it what you were expecting?
Well, since I've been in the gig industry, it was what I was expecting as far as the delivery. It just took a moment to understand the app a little bit, and sometimes we forget to hit arrived, and because you're so used to the app doing it itself. So it's just little knickknacks like that I had to learn, but everything went smooth as expected. The best part was just being able to add extra another app to make my income with, and I ended up after all these years it's just my main one now, so it's been great.
Hey, wow. You got in this gig economy 7 years ago, took it full time 6 years ago, and you had multi app. You didn't dropped a couple names, and now you're just using Deliver That as a source of income. That's pretty incredible. Thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
Oh my goodness. So let's say over the last few years, there has been a huge influx of drivers in the economy, or the gig economy, excuse me. To you, what is the biggest benefit of being a gig economist driver?
The biggest benefit is just working at your own pace, working at your own time, making your money when you need to make your money. And like I said, not being tied down to the 9 to 5 schedule, if you will. You can choose to, if you're doing food, you can choose to go out there breakfast or lunch or dinner. If you're doing groceries, you pick your best times for that. It's usually mid-afternoons, so it's just getting to know your market, and that's pretty much how I've been successful all these years at doing the gig economy. So yeah, that's
So
what has.
he said this about 3 or 4 times. So if y'all don't take notes, they say when a also repeat itself, it's gonna be on the test. So pay attention.
So Jeff, I kind of want to switch gears here. You let us get to know you as the driver, but I want to get to know you outside of the driver. So these questions I'm gonna pose are gonna be towards that. So my first question to you is, what is the greatest challenge or struggle you ever had to face?
Well, right now I'm going through one of the biggest challenges I had to face is right now one of my best friends, he's going through chemotherapy right now, and that's been one of the hardest struggles I've had to face as right now. It's unfortunate, it's cancer, like they say, cancer sucks. But that's been the right now. I'm actually going through it right now with him, but we're optimistic, and hopefully things will work out for the best. And we're just taking it one step at a time, one day at a time.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. That's pretty intimate, and I'm praying that speedy recovery for your friend.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, what are some? If you are you a music person? Would you say?
I do like music, but I'm mostly my hobbies are fishing and video games. I love playing video games when I have time, barely ever, but when I do have time and I'm at home, I do like to play a little video games. And when I find the day off, I do like to go out and throw the rod out and go fishing and enjoy the weather outdoors.
Are you a big? You said you're big on fishing, so you fish a lot.
I wish I could at the time, with having to work, and I wish I could fish more, but I do pretty good going out. I do my days going out at least twice a month.
Cool. What's your favorite fish to eat?
My favorite fish to eat has to be the red snapper.
I knew you was gonna say that. I don't know why, but I knew you was gonna say that. Oh wow! I actually have a red snapper in my freezer. I have yet to cook it. My mom fishes all the time, and she finally took me out this summer because I don't remember fishing as a kid. And I was like, okay, I got this. I'm like, I see why y'all don't take y'all phone out. Y'all like this is peace. I can do this. I was like, I'm gonna do it by myself because this is your thing, and I don't want to interrupt. But it's peaceful.
Very relaxing, very relaxing. Just hearing the waves crash, and even if you don't fish anything, it's just the relaxing experience is what you're there.
Exactly. I'm like, I didn't catch anything, but I had fun.
Yes, you do have some fun.
So, what is the best meal you have ever eaten? Do you cook or your wife cook?
Well, we both cook, but she outcooks me any day of the week. um, my favorite meal. That's a tough one. I have to say I'm from Spain, so my favorite dish would always have to be a paella.
Tell me what that is.
Seafood paella is yellow rice with all types of different seafood, shrimp, mussels, just different, a little bit of fish, and all the clams, you name it. It has all squid. It has everything, and it's yellow rice. It's seafood paella. It's a very Spanish popular dish. It's their home plate, pretty
I'm
much.
gonna have to look that up. Well, listen, we take deliveries here in Ohio too. If you can find a way to package that up, freeze dry it, and send it.
One of these days, I'll be driving out there to drop it off to you.
That's awesome. Well, you mentioned something I want to piggyback off of. You said you were from Spain. How long have you been over here?
Oh, I came in 1992 is when I came from Spain. So
Wow.
I was 11 years old. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been a 30 something years now.
Have you ever went back or have family there to go back and visit?
I have never gone back. Sadly, I do have a lot of family out there. My father does go all the time, and I get to see all my family on Facebook and talk to them through WhatsApp and so forth. But sadly, no, I have never gone back. I do want to go back. I just haven't had the opportunity to go back since I came.
Well, unfortunately, we're not in Spain yet, but if we get there, you can do some deliveries while you visit it.
One day.
So I got a question for you.
Yes.
If you could make one rule for everyone in the world to follow, what would it be?
One rule for everybody in the world to follow is to be kind to each other.
Listen here, that was my thing.
Kindness will kill all the problems we have in the world.
That's so true. It's actually kindness season coming up. December everybody is so happy, and I'm like, why can't we do this the other 11 months?
Right. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, last question I ask before I get into a bonus question: for what in your life do you feel the most grateful for?
Well, I feel most grateful to be alive, to be honest with you, and to be in good health. I had a scare a few years ago with my heart, and I'm just grateful to be alive and to be able to breathe and to be able to be there for my wife every day.
That's amazing. So, Jeff, those are all my questions that I do have you, but I'm gonna kick it to Nate and see if he got a bonus question for us.
Okay.
Bonus question. All right. Yeah, I'll just ask him. Like year in and year out, Florida has some of our top markets in it. So why does he think Florida is such a good home for like the gig market?
So why do you think Florida is such a great home for the gig economy or the gig market?
Well, I would say because of all the tourists that come to Florida, a lot of the tourists that come, they're at a hotel, they want a good, nice meal, delivered to them, or even being driven to and from different locations, and so forth. That's why I think the gig economy thrives here in Florida is because of the tourism.
That's interesting. I would have never thought that, but that's pretty interesting. Any other questions?
Why did he settle on Orlando coming over here from Spain?
He was 11.
Oh.
Yep, I was 11. I had no choice in that.
I got a bonus question for you. Would you rather win the lottery or work the perfect job, and why?
Oh, that's a tough question. How much are we talking in the lottery? Obviously, I mean that's work at a job or have somebody work for you by being a millionaire. I'll choose the lottery every time.
Hey, can't beat it.
Yep.
Well, that is all that I have for you now, and I just want to say thank you again for just taking time out to join us and actually get to know you outside of just being Jeff G, the actual gig driver for DeliverThat. And as you will know, you guys, we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.